Caring for a chuckwalla can be kind of tricky. That's why in today's video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know so you don't make mistakes early on like I did. My name's Clay. This is Peanut Butter. Stick around, guys. Chuckwallas come from hot desert environments. They're built to withstand super harsh environment conditions. They're pretty hardy, but that doesn't mean they're invincible. So this is a general guide to get you through your chuckwalla. There's a lot of different kinds. Mine's the common chuckwalla. I'm going to teach you guys everything you need to know to take care of yours. Moving on to our first section, closure sizes. If you guys don't have the room to care for one of these, then probably should be looking for something different. Adults need a minimum of a 4x2x2. I suggest a 4x2x3. As you can see in the background, that's what my chuckwalla lives in. These guys love to climb and they need variants to be able to do so. These guys also need more than enough room to wedge themselves into rocks. I mean, a basic tank works, but like I said, you're going to need to offer that ground for them to get up. That's how they feel safe. If they're not able to do that, they're going to hide a lot and probably going to see some weird behaviors. You're going to be all over different groups asking everyone why your chuckwalla is not behaving like you see online. Me personally, I went through 3 different enclosure designs until I finally landed on this one, and I've been seeing a huge difference in my chuckwalla because I watch mine all the time. They bask vertically, he sits under his UVB vertically, he does a lot vertically. That's where he feels safe. He wants to be up there. Even his basking platform is elevated way higher than his ground level. This makes him feel safe and secure basking like he would in the wild. In the wild, you'll catch these guys up on high rocks where they're getting the most heat and they feel the most safe. That's where they're going to be up there looking for predators, making sure everything's safe. Moving on to section number 2, heating and UVB. UVB, in my opinion, is non-negotiable. You need to spend the money and get a proper UVB setup. I'm talking linear, and it's got to be at least half to even the full enclosure if you're able to do it. I like Arcadia's UVB fixture. It seems to work the best. There's also the T5 high output 10.0 fixtures. Those work great. That's by Zoomed. Arcadia, in my opinion, is the best. You need to run a 12 to 14% bulb. These are going to give your chuckwalla the most options to get the UVB they want. Reptiles can see a spectrum. Reptiles can see a spectrum of light that we're not able to see. So if you offer gradient, able to climb vertically, they're going to go and move and bask in that zone where they feel they need fit. Moving on to the heat. I'm not going to give you guys a wattage because I don't want you guys to think what I say is what you need. What you're looking for is a basking surface temp of 130, even 140 works, but my sweet spot seems to be right around 130. You guys need to make sure with a temperature gun, you can pick these up at your nearest auto parts store. I got mine at Harbor Freight. It was like 25 bucks and it's been one of the best purchases I ever made because you go from questioning things to wondering if it's exactly what you want to knowing for sure. That's going to be one of your guys' most important purchases. If you're able to offer multiple basking zones, because your chuckwalla is going to go from point A to point B, they like to move around. If they don't feel safe and secure in one spot, they need to have another. You can see I have 2 different zones. One's here, one's here. And you guys also need to make sure that you're offering variant in temperature. Just because they like it hot doesn't mean they want it hot all the time. They need to be able to go cool off as well. I built an entire cool side climate, as you can see here. This one stays about 85 degrees. Up near the top, it gets about 90. And I'm still making modifications to this enclosure, honestly, daily. I'm going to add a couple more platforms in here so they feel a little more secure. So it's kind of just a learning curve that you're going to go through. You need to watch what your reptile does, learn the areas it likes to be, and adjust based off that. One last thing that I'm going to suggest is getting yourself a solar meter. This is going to help you know exactly what your UVB lamp is putting out in the different zones. You're looking from a 1.0 up to about a 7.0. This is kind of confusing to break down in numbers, and I'm not going to go super in depth into it, but if you get a solar meter, it's going to help you with multiple things. You're not going to have to constantly worry about, is your UVB lamp still putting off UVB? You're going to know exactly. Instead of replacing bulbs every 6 months, you can go a year, maybe 2. So this is going to be one of your better purchases. I know they are a bit more expensive, but I highly recommend getting one. Moving on to section number 3, substrate and enclosure design. You guys want to keep it simple. Just because it looks good to you doesn't mean it's good to your reptile. Now there's kind of a give and take there because you want something that's aesthetically pleasing, but you're probably not going to nail it first try. I went through 3 enclosure designs before I finally nailed it. They want tight rock crevices and they want lots of vertical space. So you guys just kind of need to do your research and look into other videos. I can even do a full in-depth on how I build this if you guys want. Leave it down in the comments below. As far as substrate, I use play sand. You got to make sure it's washed and reptile safe. If you guys want, use an excavator play sand clay mix. It makes a good packed surface because they do like to dig a little bit, but for the most part, mine doesn't really dig. I don't know if something's wrong with him or he's broken, but he just doesn't dig. These guys are definitely not for everybody, and that's why everybody doesn't have them. They're like next to impossible to get. So if you're watching this, congratulations, you're one of the 1%. I'm not sure if I even need to say this, but don't use calcium sand. It's garbage. It's not good. I don't even know why they make it. It should be illegal. Don't use it. Don't be that person. Section 4, diet. And now this is my opinion. This is my opinion. Doesn't even make sense. In my opinion, this is probably the hardest part to get right with your chuckwalla. Getting them to eat and stay eating is kind of a hassle. The things you want to feed constantly every day on a daily basis are going to be collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens, dandelion greens. Those are going to be what you want to give all the time. Now, on occasion, you can give squash. I ran into a problem with this. I started feeding it a little bit too much, and now he's not really wanting to eat his greens so much. Their gut is a balance of a bunch of things. I'm going to try to break this down the most easy, understandable way I can. If you're feeding too high of water things, it's going to flush their gut system out too quickly. You want stuff to sit in there and break down and them to get the nutrients from it. So if they're flushing their body out every day, that's not good. You want stuff to sit in there, so pretty much a high fiber diet. If you're able to feed cactus pads, I know they're a bit expensive, but those are very high in fiber, and that's exactly what they need. What else? Their diet is very important because they do not drink water. I've never seen mine drink water. I've seen them lick the edge of the water bowl. That's about it. These guys get all their water from the vegetables or the fruits they eat. I don't know why I said fruits, because they're not supposed to eat fruits. Don't feed fruits. Fruits are bad. You guys need to do research and understand everything that you're seeing. I kind of geek out over my chuckwalla's poop when I see that it firms up or it's getting too soft, all these different things. I probably look weird when I do it, but it's important. These things tell you key things about your reptile. Another thing is they can get very sick from their poop, so daily cleaning is a must. These guys are a full-time job. I swear, every morning I wake up, it's like 30 minutes of cleaning. When I get home, 30 more minutes of cleaning, and then in-depth more cleaning. It's a whole lot. And just like every other reptile, make sure that you're dusting their greens properly too. You can give them Reptivite, which has a bunch of good stuff for them in it, and make sure you're dusting it with calcium and D3. That's how they're going to get all their calcium, which they're going to absorb with the help of the UVB. Section number 5, bonding and handling. This is going to vary on case-to-case basis. My chuckwalla has become very fond of me, and he allows me to handle him. I want to say he enjoys the handling. That's just what I got. These guys are very hard to get, and there's not a lot of breeders. So if you do get one, chances are it's a wild caught, and it's going to hate your guts. I'm just being honest. It's going to take a long time to build its trust. For the most part, these guys are pretty defensive, and they're kind of on edge. That's just how they've survived so long in these deserts. Over time, with enough experience and training, I don't know how you'd get trained to handle a chuckwalla, but with enough experience, you could probably get yours to trust you. If you are experienced and you pretty much know basically what you're doing, because I'm not saying you need to go in this knowing everything, because you're just not. Like, I made so many mistakes. It's insane. It's not even funny. It's probably not even legal how many mistakes I made. But if you know the gist of what you're doing, go ahead and get one. Good luck getting one. You're a better person than I am. I've been searching for months now, and it's hard. It's almost impossible. Literally, it's almost impossible. But if you're able to get one, give it your best shot. It's going to be one of the coolest things you ever have. I'd say one pro to getting these guys is every time someone sees it, they're going to say, "What is that?" Almost nobody knows what it is unless they've been in the hobby for so many years. This wasn't a video trying to scare you away, because looking back at it, I kind of gave more negatives than I did positives. This is just a video to show you if it's right, and the ones that are being kept in captivity are kept right. It's nighttime for my lizards. The light turned off. Light's back on. If you guys have made it this far, thank you. If you guys have any comments, concerns, or things that I missed or I should cover again, leave them in the comments below. I literally respond to all comments. It's proven. I've done it. Go check my other videos. I've done it. If you guys enjoyed this video, I have tons more. Go ahead and subscribe. It means a lot to me. I put a lot of effort into these videos, and I'm here trying to help make understandable language and verbiage that you can truly understand. And this has been Reptile Rookie. I'm not an expert. I'm just obsessed. My name's Clay. This is Peanut Butter, and it's time for bed. See you guys later.